What's up, buddy?
Hey, so I'm still pretty fresh out of a longer term relationship, and it was actually you had given me the advice to get out of it a couple months ago, and doing the work on myself, have options, but I want to make sure I cement the abundance or spin plates mindset rather than the oneitis thing because I know I'm susceptible to that because of conditioning and whatnot. And if you guys had any tips on that, it'd be great.
What's happened on the last call? Like, what did you call in for? You said you had a bad relationship.
Um, I was doing
I vaguely remember.
yeah, I was in a distance thing and you
A long distance relationship.
yes, that was
Okay,
was it.
all right. Okay, so
Mhm,
you moved away from that, and
mhm.
your question now is, how do you avoid oneitis? Or
How do I just get rid of that mindset because I know it's
it's a
conditioned and
scarcity
you know.
mindset. So I mean, usually the reason why people have oneitis or an unhealthy attachment to one chick is one, they're not spinning plates; they're just dating one chick. Okay.
Mhm,
Two, they don't have a very high opinion of themselves. Either their SMV isn't at its peak, or it's not high enough towards its peak that you feel confident, right? Because you know what your worth as a guy. I mean, you get up in the morning, you look in the shower, you look in the mirror, you look at your bank account, you look at what you drive, you look at your social media following, and who's all engaging. Like, you know what your worth is, right? So those are the main contributing factors. So if you can fix those by having a more abundance lifestyle, a bunch of women, you max out your SMV, have some confidence about yourself, you're not going to tolerate, hey, Matt, let's do a long distance relationship. You're going to be like, nope, I'm good. If you want to come visit and we can hang out, then, I'll do that. But I'm not going to be in a relationship with you, right? Because you've got other options, because your SMV is higher, because you're more confident, sort of thing. You guys chime in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll mention something on the abundance mindset because kind of like we were talking earlier, there's the whole fake it until you make it type mentality, which I agree if you have like nowhere else to go. But once you're already kind of getting things together, you should probably drop the whole fake it or make it moniker and actually just be that person. So the abundance mindset, it applies in all areas of your life. When you start having abundance in one area, it often spills over into other areas too. But as far as the girl things, really you just got to get out there. Rich has mentioned many times it's a skill set you need to develop. And then as soon as you start getting some wins, and it might take a bit to get going, first you might get some matches, then you'll get some numbers, then you'll get dates set, then you'll get girls to actually show up on dates and not flake, then you got girls to be pleasant on dates, then you'll pull to the house, and then you get all that together, like all the different steps in the process, and then you start streamlining it, and eventually you just like, all right, I got this down. And like Rich mentioned, little things that come up, like I'll get a text message and well, I was in New York last weekend too. A lot of girls will say in their profile, if you live more than like 5 miles away, don't bother because it's gonna be $100 Uber each way. And I kind of do the same thing. Like you learn how to qualify these girls and disqualify them as fast as possible. But for the abundance mindset, you have to realize like literally there's so many girls out there and there's so many guys that aren't playing the game or they've taken themselves out of the game. And as Rich was mentioned to the last caller, you got to kind of look around and assess yourself. I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror, I try to have a good conversation myself, but and sometimes we're harder on ourselves than anyone else externally is. But then I
And you
walk through
have
the
to
air,
be. You have to
then
be.
I
Yeah.
yeah, but then I walk through the airport and I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I have got it going on. Like I'm all right. Because yeah, because I get hard on myself sometimes too. But
Yeah, your environment
going on a
matters,
flight,
right?
you're like, ooh.
Absolutely.
Matt, how old are you, dude?
21.
Oh, dude.
And
You
keep in
got
mind he
so
was in
much
a long
time
distance
ahead of you.
relationship for a good amount of time with that too.
Well, no, I don't mean like you need to be out there. You should be having a hundred woman harem, throwing your dick and everything. But you got time, right? Like you got so much time, dude. Like building up your SMV, going and learning about it. Yeah, I don't even like the term abundance mindset because it's not something that comes through sheer will or sheer thinking differently. It comes through experience. Confidence is derived from competence. So once you put up some wins and you stack some things together, and the thing is, the great thing about success is that it grows exponentially. So when you start getting smaller wins, they get bigger and bigger and bigger and more frequent. It's something that you're never going to completely override blue pill conditioning, right? Because we get blue pill conditioned when we're at our youngest and when our brains are most like sponges, and we're never going to completely unlearn those behaviors. But eventually, you put enough reps in and you put enough time in and you have enough success and enough wins, it's very, very easy to sort of quell any sort of desires to want to slide back into any sort of oneitis or anything like that. But also, think about the stories that you tell yourself and the things that you sort of manifest in your day-to-day life. Like, oh, well, like I got to get past this one-itis versus I don't have one-itis. You know, I said something to Irishman a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, it was like, I'm never going to have one-itis for a girl ever again because I know what I know now, and I have enough success and I, you know, knocked down enough where I'm going to be fine no matter what happens. And that's something that is just a complete honest assessment of where I am in my life. So be conscious of all of those, but also be aware of like where you are in your journey and like how you're just starting out.
Let me just add something else to that too, because I was just punching some numbers in my calculator. So you said you're 21, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a plan to make your first million by the time you're 30?
Yeah, I work for my family's not-for-profit, and I'm working on scaling it up with them right now,
Okay.
to try and get it to a really efficient place.
How's that going for you?
It's going really well.
How much money did you make last year?
I'm graduating college this year. I'm working part-time while I'm in college.
Okay,
So,
so
I mean,
it's not going really well then, right? Like you have an idea, you have a plan, but you're not actually starting to accumulate the wealth. So the point that I'm just making here though is that you're putting a lot of like an awful lot of bandwidth in like how do I get the girls and keep the girls and you know not fall into the bad habits that I had before. But you know with some quick calculations, you need to make $304.44 a day to have $1 million by the time you're 30. And that's a lot more useful use of your time, resources, and energy to try to figure out than getting the girls, right? I'm not saying don't figure out the girl part, right? Like do it, obviously. But there's more important questions out there to ask yourself because as you get older and as you deal with more women and you see what they're made of and you know, like you just grasp an understanding, you just become less impressed with them and they're not that special and you don't pedestalize them. And I'm not saying it's, you know, like women aren't useful. Like women can be useful in a man's life, right? Obviously, fucking clear. I mean, clear as day. People know that watching this, but they also know that, you know, it's an awful use of your time to spend so much of your brain power asking questions like that when there's better things that you could be doing with that. You see what I'm saying though, right?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I actually started MMA recently, and I've been
Cool.
putting a lot of time into that. So that's
Yeah, do that. You know, work on your combat skills. Women love a man that can be lethal, right? Have you ever competed?
no, I'm pretty new to it still,
Okay.
like a month in or so. So
Yeah, well, you know, get yourself to a point where you find a discipline that you like, and then find something that you now want to compete in, and then get beat up and get punched in the face and start to learn some other skills, right?
Yeah, your face doesn't look like it's been punched.
Well, it's been punched by a girl, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, like the, you know, down here and down here sort of thing, right? But you know, the face could always do with a slap every once in a while from another man that you know slaps some sense in you, whether
Hey
it's
Matt,
physically or emotionally.
I've got a quick takeaway too. So remember, if because it is natural, you will get those blue pill tendencies. I still get them every now and then. I know what they are. They'll
Oh
linger
yeah.
for a day or two, and then it's just a fleeting emotion. The minute you get another girl in the rotation, or you get a win, or like I'm really into like Mexican redheads now because they're rare, and that's something I haven't had before. So when I get one, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm the shit again. But in
Yeah,
your case, like remember when you get that one nitus, remember that you've already had that girl before, and that was a girl you were able to get when you got her. So this that was 6 months ago, a year ago, year and a half ago. You should be improving your SMV. So at any time, like in this moment, I am the worst I am going to be for the rest of my life. Like I'm always improving my SMV, at least I'm trying to. And girls usually don't do much in at anything at all in terms of self-improvement. And we know like based on really they just have to maintain their beauty and a lot of times their SMV is going down. So that gap is going to widen a lot more as you get older. So just remind yourself that you're an appreciating asset and she is a depreciating asset, and you're able to get a girl like her before, and you should be able to get a girl better at all times. And the more you get more reps and more wins, you'll realize the girls you get are higher quality. They're easier to get, and they're easier to maintain and retain. And then you just have a much higher quality relationship. So just keep that in mind.
All right, man. So sum it up. Chase excellence, not women. Thanks for hopping in, bro. Hey, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that short clip. If you did, consider supporting the creation of content by checking out my supplement line. Pinned in the top comment below of this video in the comments, there's a link to the unpluggedalpha.com/shop. When you click through, you'll be able to land over here, and the entire lineup is broken down by category that it performs best in: estrogen metabolism, fat burning, your foundational essentials for health, immune health, performance, and testosterone support. If you check out with coupon code ALPHA10, you'll get 10% off on your first order. There's also the option to use the subscribe and save model, where regular shipments will be sent over to you on a regular basis, and that gives you a little bit of a discount, and your supplement facts are always broken down over here. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome day. And again, check out that link. It's pinned in the top comment below in this video. Peace out.